My name is Ebi Maswai. I'm the head of the SGBV division of the ODPP. The ODPP is an independent office. Our mandate is to exercise state powers of prosecution in criminal matters. And in this respect, we are tasked with the role of prosecuting perpetrators of GBV. In this month of November, the world is celebrating the 16 days of activism, and the purpose of this celebration is just for all stakeholders to reflect and to create awareness on the issue of violence against women and girls. And the ODPP is being a key stakeholder in the criminal justice system. We are not left behind because we have been given the mandate to prosecute perpetrators and to hold them accountable for their actions. So the purpose of this campaign is, generally speaking, to raise awareness on violence against women and girls as a human rights issue, because women's rights are human rights, and the ODPP plays its role in upholding women's and girls' rights by prosecuting perpetrators. In the last financial year, 2023-2024, from the data that we hold, ODPP got a 91% conviction rates in sexual offense cases. And this just goes on to show that the DPP is committed to also play its role in combating violence against women and girls and men and boys. In fact, when you look at this data, it is a testament to the capacity building efforts and the interventions that the office has done towards strengthening the capacity of prosecutors, including even having trainings on the decision to charge guidelines that actually go to demonstrate that of the matters that were handled for sexual offenses, 91% of them, we got convictions. Another issue that the office has been very deliberate to have is to just capacity build prosecutors on the victim stroke survivor-centered approach, where victims are given a voice. The DPP has two roles: to prosecute perpetrators of sexual violence. Another role that the DPP has is to direct the Inspector General of Police to investigate any information or allegation of criminal conduct. So in this respect, we support victims of GBV by actually requiring them to write to the DPP. In case they report and no action is taken, they can actually write to the DPP, and the DPP will direct the IG to investigate and forward the resultant inquiry file for his perusal and further directions. So the ODPP has a specialized division, which is the SGBV division, and our work in this division is to implement guidelines and policies on SGBV. In this role, we have a policy document which we have come up with. We are calling it the Rapid Reference Guide on SGBV. This document is basically a toolkit. It's a daily use toolkit for prosecutors and even investigators, because it gives them, we have put together all offenses touching on SGBV, and we have put down the elements and the ingredients that are required to prove those offenses. So this is, the RRG is a daily use toolkit that makes it work easier for the prosecutors and even the investigators when they're actually handling GBV files. Another role that the SGBV division plays is on issues of capacity building, both of prosecutors and even other stakeholders, because we do not work in a vacuum. Our key focus is on victim/survivor-centered approach, where we are giving the victims of GBV offenses a voice, and actually training prosecutors to handle the victims in a way that dignifies them, in a way that ensures that we do not, as ODPP, also re-victimize or re-traumatize these victims as they walk through the criminal justice system. One of the strategic objectives of the ODPP is interagency collaboration and cooperation with other stakeholders, and through this we have been able to have a seamless GBV referral mechanism with support of stakeholders, both state and non-state actors. So in this respect, we work very closely with the National Police Service, where the victims, the police are actually the first responders, in the sense that when victims suffer from GBV, they go and report in the police station. We also work closely with the Ministry of Health, which provides the medical and also psychosocial support that the victims need. We also work closely with other agencies, such as, of course, the judiciary, which hears the matters. We also work with agencies such as the Witness Protection Agency, which has a mandate to protect victims who are under threat, or who may be under threat as a result of the evidence that they will give in court. We also work even with the counties. ODPP is in every county, so we work also very closely with the GBV coordinators in the counties. And in this respect, we also laud the counties which have come up with GBV strategies. Recently, I have seen one from Kilifi County, and it is a laudable effort that the county has undertaken. We also work very closely even with the civil society, the CSOs, who play a crucial role on supporting victims on issues of psychosocial support, women empowerment, and supporting even some CSO support even in getting the witnesses to come to court, and also providing us safe shelter or safe houses. So our message to the public in this period of the 16 days of gender activism is that as a society we need to rise up and shun violence against all, and specifically against women and girls, and that we may not have a tolerance, any form of tolerance against violence. Been involved in capacity building of court users committees in 5 counties this year, and the purpose is just to strengthen their capacity to handle GBV matters, because we recognize the need and the importance for interagency collaboration and cooperation. Because when stakeholders are able to sit together, each stakeholder comes up with their challenges, they come up with their experiences, and out of that we are able to come up with a way forward, and also just come up with best practices on how best to handle GBV matters, because the end goal of proper handling of these matters is just to ensure that the victims and survivors get justice. The challenges that as ODPP we have faced in prosecution of GBV matters is that there is a lot of interference from the community because of our culture. There is the tendency to want to have this matter settled out of court, but unfortunately this does not help the survivors in any way. When the matters are settled out of court, it is normally between, probably if it's a defilement matter, it is between the parents, it is the elders who sit down to actually negotiate. And unfortunately in this scenario, there is no support to the victim. Nobody thinks to give the victim or the survivor psychosocial support or any other form of support they may need. So this has been a challenge, because once parties have settled out of court, the witnesses do not turn up in court, and you find prosecutors having to mention matters over a long period because the witnesses are not available to attend court to testify, leading to withdrawals of these matters. Also noting that we do not plea bargain sexual offenses, and we also do not divert them unless they are Romeo and Juliet, where both parties, the boy and the girl, are both teens. They are almost close in age. We urge the community to support us, to support even the police as they investigate these matters, to show up in court to testify, so that we can get justice for the victims and survivors of gender-based violence.